The biting cold of prehistoric Siberia slices into your lungs with every breath, freezing the wide, robust nostrils evolution gave you. You feel the primitive spear's weight in your hand, muscles tensed beneath thick, hairy skin. The earth trembles, a giant, hairy, with tusks curved like scimitars, a mammoth. It stands before you, imposing, and your stomach has been rumbling for days. Congratulations, you were born a Neanderthal, and for you, life is a constant, brutal hunt. The reward for this struggle? Pure survival, just another day won against the odds. But let me tell you, being you truly sucked. It was a miserable existence. I'm here to lay it bare to show you the endless struggle and silent despair. I will take you on a journey through the Ice Age, revealing every grim detail, and I'm about to prove exactly why your life was, indeed, a living hell. Imagine waking in a damp cave, the scent of smoke and cured meat mingling with your family's heavy breath. Your bed is a pile of crude furs, offering little comfort against the glacial chill seeping through the rock. Breakfast? Perhaps a frigid piece of frozen marrow gnawed from a bone left over from yesterday's kill. From the moment you first crawled, the world was a relentless training ground for extreme survival, every day a lesson. Forget toys. Your fun was learning to chip flint, tracing tracks in the snow, or identifying edible roots. Ironically, a significant part of your childhood learning was how to avoid being eaten by something larger and hungrier. Your childhood wasn't sweet, filled with carefree moments or nurturing warmth. It was a harsh school of hardening where every scraped knee taught you resilience, every fall a brutal lesson. A simple head cold, a cough, or a persistent fever could easily become a terrifying, swift death sentence. You learned quickly that softness was a luxury you simply could not afford in this unforgiving world. You are a living tank of flesh and muscle, a marvel of robust, compact physiology honed by millennia of brutal cold. Broad shoulders, a deep chest, incredibly dense bones. Every fiber of your being was forged for resilience and strength. Your powerful frame was designed to withstand the biting cold and deliver crushing, lethal blows in close combat. But this colossal strength, this raw power, came with an agonizing, often debilitating price tag you paid daily. Imagine the chronic, grinding pain in your joints, a constant throb echoing years of extreme physical exertion and relentless toil. This agony stemmed from hauling heavy carcasses across frozen landscapes and enduring countless clashes with unforgiving ice. Your body was, yes, a powerful tool for survival, perfectly adapted for the harsh environment you called home. Yet, it was also a living, breathing record of every fracture, every dislocated limb, every deep scar etched by life. Each ache, each stiff movement, was a testament to the brutal, relentless punishment your body endured. And crucially, there were no soothing painkillers, no moments of relief from the ceaseless physical suffering. Your palate was simple, utterly uncomplicated, meat and lots of it. You were a true hypercarnivore. Mammoth, bison, woolly rhinoceros, anything that moved and offered precious protein was a potential, fleeting feast. The problem, the cruel reality of your existence, was the constant, gnawing uncertainty of your next meal. One day, you might gorge yourself until your stomach distended, warm fat dripping down your rugged chin in satisfaction. The very next, you'd be desperately chewing on old, tough leather, praying the next precarious hunt wouldn't fail. Hunger was a perpetual companion, an insistent, aching presence, a gaunt ghost haunting your every conscious thought. It dictated every cautious step, every strategic decision, every desperate gamble you made in your harsh world. Your magnificent muscular body demanded an immense constant influx of calories just to maintain its furnace. And cruel Mother Nature, ever impartial, never simply handed them over. You had to fight, bleed, and kill for every single one. The feast was brief. The famine, however, was often long, brutal, and profoundly terrifying in its certainty. Your survival kit was shockingly basic, a testament to raw ingenuity but also profound limitation in a dangerous world. A wooden spear with a crudely flaked stone point, a sharpened scraper for processing tough hides, a heavy hand axe for breaking bones. These tools, while representing the pinnacle of Neanderthal technology, the famed Levallois technique, were ultimately crude extensions of your strength. They didn't grant you an overwhelming advantage against the colossal beasts you hunted or the brutal environment. They were instruments designed for visceral, close-quarters combat, demanding direct, perilous engagement with your prey. One slight miscalculation, one fumbled grip in the heat of the moment could easily mean the loss of a finger. Or far worse, it could mean the swift, brutal end of your precious, hard-won life, lost to an animal's fury. There were no sophisticated bows and arrows to keep your distance, no ranged weapons for safer hunting. Only the sheer, unyielding force of your muscled arm and the sharp point of your rudimentary spear to face tons of enraged beast. Your survival hinged solely on your strength, your courage, and the fragile durability of these basic implements. You might be incredibly strong, an imposing figure in your own right, a formidable hunter. But you were emphatically not alone at the pinnacle of the food chain in this brutal, frozen world. Giant wolves, far larger and more terrifying than any modern counterpart, constantly stalked your footsteps, eyeing you as potential prey. Cave bears, colossal and ferocious, easily dwarfing today's bears, patrolled vast territories, viewing you as a rival. And occasionally a stealthy saber-toothed cat might well decide that you were the next tempting item on its menu. Every single departure from the relative safety of your cave was an anxious, high-stakes game of Russian roulette with fate. It wasn't merely the colossal mammoth that posed a lethal threat to your precarious existence. It was the entire, savage, unforgiving environment, an intricate web of predators and challenges. This harsh world saw in you just another potential meal, another competitor to be ruthlessly eliminated from its domain. You were powerful, yes, but perpetually vulnerable, a precarious link in a brutal chain of life and death. This precisely is the zenith of your entire existence, the terrifying, glorious purpose of your powerful physique, the mammoth hunt. To bring down such a colossal beast, you needed perfect coordination, insane, almost suicidal courage, and a touch of divine luck. Imagine hunkering down in the deep snow, the biting wind whipping around you, patiently waiting for the precise, opportune moment. Perhaps you'd strategically push the gargantuan animal into a treacherous bog, or cunningly drive it over a perilous cliff edge. When the critical moment finally arrived, it exploded into a frenzied chaos of primal screams, spraying blood and shards of ice. You would hurl yourself with desperate abandon against tons of enraged muscle and raw fury. Your spear, in comparison to the beast, seemed nothing more than a fragile toothpick against a moving mountain of power. The potential reward for this audacious, life-threatening endeavor was immense, ensuring the survival of your entire clan. But the risk involved, oh, the unbearable, terrifying risk, was your very own precious, fragile life itself. And if the hunt failed? The crushing consequence was simple and brutal. Your entire group would face slow, agonizing starvation. The relentless, brutal life of hunting left indelible, agonizing marks upon your powerful, yet vulnerable body. Broken bones were not merely common, they were an almost unavoidable part of your dangerous profession, an occupational hazard. Deep, festering infections and uncleaned cuts and lacerations were a chillingly frequent, slow, and excruciating death sentence. Imagine a compound fracture in your arm, bone-piercing skin, with no painkillers, no concept of antiseptic, no surgery whatsoever. Just the grim, desperate hope that your robust, resilient body might somehow manage to heal itself without becoming horribly infected. Your life expectancy was tragically pathetic by modern standards, rarely exceeding a brutal average of around 30 years. If you somehow managed to reach the venerable age of 40, you were considered an incredibly wise, revered elder. But by then, you were almost certainly deeply scarred, hunched by years of ceaseless suffering and chronic pain. Most likely, you would barely be able to move your weary, battered limbs, a living monument to sheer endurance. Every day was a testament to pain endured, a silent agony that defined your very existence until your final exhausted breath. The Ice Age was not a mere literary metaphor or a historical concept. It was your stark, unrelenting daily reality. Winter was not just a season that came and went. It was an endless, suffocating siege, a constant battle for survival. Keeping the precious fire alight was a vital, perpetual task, requiring constant vigilance and endless effort from your clan. Every single piece of wood collected, every branch painstakingly gathered, represented a small, hard-won victory against the encroaching cold. Hypothermia was a silent, insidious, and utterly relentless enemy, stealing body heat and life with chilling efficiency. Frostbite was common, leading to the agonizing loss of fingers, ears, and nose, permanent disfigurements from the brutal temperatures. Your sturdy body was undeniably adapted to the cold, yes, a testament to millennia of harsh evolution and adaptation. But the relentless, unwinnable battle against sub-zero temperatures was a grueling war of attrition that truly never, ever ended. The chills seeped into your bones, a constant reminder of nature's indifference, a cold embrace that promised eventual death. Every breath was a fight, every shelter a fragile defiance against the icy grip of an endless, punishing winter. You were decidedly not a solitary wolf, isolated and self-sufficient in this brutal, unforgiving world. Small, tightly knit groups of typically 10 to 20 individuals formed your entire family, your sole defense, your only hope of survival. The arduous hunt, the precarious gathering of scarce resources, the ceaseless struggle for mere existence, everything was a collective effort. But imagine the immense, simmering tension within such a small, isolated group in an environment of extreme scarcity and brutal pressure. Disputes over meager food rations, arguments over limited resources, fierce rivalries for mates, these were daily challenges. There was no established police force, no formal legal system to resolve conflicts or maintain order. Only the raw, unyielding law of the strongest, or perhaps the cunning of the most persuasive, held sway among your people. Solidarity was absolutely vital for collective survival, a fundamental pillar of your existence, binding you all together. Yet, the intense claustrophobia of living in such close quarters and the profound lack of any true privacy must have been utterly suffocating. Your community was both your vital lifeline and an inescapable cage, a paradox of absolute dependence and constant friction. Despite all your inherent strength, your remarkable adaptations, and your unparalleled resilience, destiny proved unkind. Your population was never vast, a fragile thread woven into the tapestry of the Ice Age, and life remained an incessant struggle. And then subtly at first, but with increasing numbers, the others began to arrive. The Homo sapiens. They appeared more slender, seemingly less robust than your own kind, yet their presence was undeniably unsettling, a new threat. They wielded lighter, more sophisticated tools, and, crucially, they possessed bows and arrows that irrevocably changed the hunting game. These newcomers were strange, undeniably different from your people in countless ways, their very essence an enigma. And with a cruel twist of irony, as you, the undisputed master of survival in the brutal Ice Age, slowly faded away. They, the Homo sapiens, those whom you might have viewed as fragile or weak, began to prosper and multiply. Your sucked existence reached its melancholic climax with this slow, mysterious, yet undeniable replacement by another species. A species that, to your dying eyes, perhaps appeared less equipped, yet somehow was destined to inherit the world. And so you, the mighty Homo Neanderthal mammoth hunter, lived and eventually perished. A life that was undeniably short, profoundly brutal, and, to our modern sensibilities, a truly monumental suck. No Netflix binges, no comforting hot pizza deliveries, certainly no soothing hot showers after a grueling day. Just the incessant grueling, yet in its own way, glorious battle for the promise of just one more precious day. But despite facing every conceivable adversity, one simply cannot deny the sheer resilience and raw power of these evolutionary cousins of ours. They were, in every sense of the word, the true OGs, original gangsters, of raw, unadulterated survival. I truly hope you enjoyed this glimpse, feeling a fraction of the immense weight of such an existence. Now, a question for you. Would you dare to be a Neanderthal for even a single day? What do you think would be the absolute biggest challenge for you in that harsh, unforgiving world? Share your thoughts and insights in the comments section below. I'd love to read them. If you enjoyed this wild journey back in time and perhaps learned something new, don't forget to smash that like button. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of our upcoming, equally intense videos. Hit the notification bell too so you're always in the loop. Thanks for watching and stay curious. Until the next video, take care.